What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, MyFilmMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to be talking about Inside the Yellow Cocoon. This was submitted for my consideration in that consideration period. This is an international feature, and guess what? It didn't have audio description. I watched it anyway. It's 3 hours of none, and I think people they don't think I'm watching these movies, and I didn't know anything about it going in. Like, I didn't know what language it was from. I was like, okay, so this is clearly from an Asian country. Um, I found I was from Vietnam, so I was right. I was like, ooh, okay, pin that. There were a couple sound effects that stood out to me. There were bells at one point. It sounded like church bells. You know, um, that heavy, sort of like dong, 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 like those big bells. And then there's a rooster scene, like somebody's being awakened by a rooster. That was there. But for the most part, yeah, it was a whole bunch of conversations I couldn't really understand, you know. um, and some general city noises. Like, I didn't even realize there's like an accident here within the film. Like, I guess kind of looking back on it, I do remember hearing city noises, but I didn't quite know that what the relevance of those noises were. So it's interesting when you look back on things and you don't have any context of like what is it I just listened to. But no, like, international films are great for multitasking, to just be honest. I mean, since I can't see the screen anyway, for me to, like, if I'm cleaning or doing something else, I can listen to it. It's like listening to music. It's basically basically I haven't listened to any music in in the last month. So I've just been considering things, and when I would normally listen to music, I listen to an international film. It's not in my language, and then I can, I don't know, cook food or whatever. So, I don't know if that's giving it like the highest form of consideration, but at the same time, I have headphones and I can move about the cabin. So, it's the only thing I'm listening to, and that's it. Uh, I'm doing this because we have to talk about the fact that just international cinema should be accessible to everybody. In America, it's just not. I think it's really important for us to have these stories told, and this story is really interesting. I've heard it's also beautifully shot. From everybody who talks about this film, it's apparently like the cinematographer is just like knocked this out of the park from everything, just captivating and just really taking a beautiful look at Vietnam. But it's about a man who he's in town, and he's sort of nearby and doesn't quite realize that the car accident that just happened nearby um, killed his sister-in-law, and he then becomes responsible for his nephew, and he's tasked with taking his nephew to his brother who sort of had abandoned his sister-in-law, and sort of lives up in the mountains. So it's about that journey, and sort of the journey that he takes. And the director takes sort of a unique style and approach to this journey, moving through, reality and dreams and like what is real and what's not, and that kind of thing, and taking a look at the landscape and uh, navigating through that world. So that's the cliff notes to the movie. I can't obviously give you any more than that because I couldn't follow the movie myself. But I think these are the stories that are important. You know, I say that sometimes we can get a little bit too trapped into what our American ideology is here without having sort of a global understanding. And when we allow sort of American directors to tell stories of people in other countries from an American perspective, we're sort of silencing the perspective of filmmakers from their own countries who really know what it's like to actually live and breathe in that country and what those stories are like, and the kind of films that they want to make and share with the rest of the world. So this is a great representation of what film in Vietnam would actually look like, what acting in Vietnam actually looks like, not English language actors who's coming over and speaking Vietnam or Vietnamese or whatever. Not Vietnam, that's not a language. Uh, it's a purposeless place. Um, and we have to, if we have more of that throughout all of these international films that I watched this year, I'm just thinking about how all the missed opportunities that I've had at expanding myself in terms of culture. Although I have listened to a whole bunch of people speak in languages I don't speak, which is a really bizarre experience, but I'm happy to do it if it starts a conversation. So please support audio description for international film. Please put audio description on international film. Please put closed captioning on international film. If you're gonna bring a film to another country, make sure that it's accessible to all of its citizens and not just the sighted ones or the ones that can hear. Like, make sure that blind and deaf communities can enjoy the film as well. And no subtitling is not captioning. So I can't read the subtitles. I need audio description. Plus, I would have loved to have the visual cues as well, which is what audio description also provides me as a blind person. Anyway, as much of a critic as I am, I'm also here to advocate for that and explain why things don't work. Obviously, I shouldn't have to explain to you, I don't speak Vietnamese, so obviously I couldn't follow the movie. But if you're a sighted viewer and you've made it this far, think about how often you walk into theaters and you just expect that whatever is being presented to you is being presented in a way in which you would be able to understand and follow it. Like, you don't think about, did I remember to get that device at the front? Is it going to have the track that I need? Will this have anything on screen for me to be able to, you don't worry about things like that because you just assume that it will always be there for you. That's not true for me. It's very much not true. So unfortunately, my grade here is unwatchable due to lack of audio description. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.